There's a battle now in Congress over the so-called Employee Free Choice Act. Opponents say this bill, better known as card check, is really payback for labor unions that supported the Obama presidential campaign. Inez Ferre with our report.
We are America's workforce.
You've probably seen the TV ads for it, the Employee Free Choice Act, also known as the card check. The bill would make it easier for employees to unionize by simply allowing a majority of workers to sign a card declaring their desire to form a union. Right now, an employer can require that workers hold an election, which gives the company time to campaign against unionizing.
The Employee Free Choice Act is going to level the playing field and restore some fairness and make it possible for workers to form unions again so they can bargain for wages and benefits.
The bill also sets, for the first time, a 120-day limit on contract negotiations between companies and the new union. Currently, about 7.5% of private workers are unionized versus almost 37% of public or government workers.
Workers now have the right to decide by secret ballot.
Critics who put out their own TV ads against the bill say card check would eliminate the secret ballot. Ultimately, workers would be intimidated by union leaders.
That's monopoly bargaining, and that's wrong. In order to buttress themselves and survive what is this downward trend in the private sector unionization of workers, union officials are back here in Washington asking for additional privileges to force more workers into unions.
Mick says you need only look at places like Detroit or the high rate of unionization in states like California that are struggling to keep workers on their payroll. On average, union workers earn more than non-union employees, with public sector unionized workers averaging the most per hour. And another bill which was recently introduced in the House is the Public Safety Employer-Employee Cooperation Act, which would make it easier for police, firefighters, and EMS workers to unionize. And with the government sector as one of the few sectors of growth, unions are looking at it as an area for expansion. Lou.
That's quite remarkable that unionized public sector employees make more than unionized private sector employees.
And some of the states with most of the unionized public sector are really, they're facing such struggles trying to pay these people right now. I mean,
so in other words, even unionized private sector workers are supporting workers with their tax money who make more than they do on average and have higher benefits than they do on average. This country is going upside down in a hurry. This is absolutely ridiculous. Now, what is this other piece of legislation that is in the offing now?
Right. It's called the Public Safety Employer-Employee Cooperation Act, and the critics are saying that basically this would this would make states and local governments negotiate with unions for firefighters and for police. And
well, they do now.
Well, in some states,
and obviously very effectively, since of 430,000 new AFL-CIO memberships, 3/4 of them were in the public sector last year. It would seem they need a little more help in the private sector, don't you think? I mean, well, I can't ask you to give it your opinion, but I think. Don't you agree? Inez, thank you very much. Appreciate it.